Who polices misleading advertising? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's what I think is probably a pretty common question. Leo, thanks for your site. Which agency controls or watches the advertisements of all the links that are posted? The big complaint that I have are the sites to clean your PC, which say free, and at the end you have to pay for activation. Should it be a requirement that a big red note say, this is not a free site? I fully realize that there's no such thing as a free lunch, but these lead you on to sites and cause you to waste much time. So the practical answer to the specific question is that no, there's no one. There's not really an agency in charge or actively policing online advertising. Yes, in the United States, you might think of your state's attorney general, but practically speaking, they're rarely going to step in and help unless it's something really, really serious and widespread. Besides, most of these ads have some very slippery wording that actually keeps them completely out of trouble. What I call weasel words are words that can be interpreted to mean more than one thing or nothing at all. For example, the phrase free download. All free download really might mean is that the download is free. You can download paying nothing at all. The advertising is counting on a misunderstanding. You might think that free download implies that the program you just downloaded is itself free. But that's not what they said. Free download, taken literally, means the act of downloading that file was free. What happens next may or may not be. You could download it to your computer and pay nothing. Using it or running it? That's another matter. Another example are things like the free system scam or free system cleanup analysis, often with the same emphasis on that word free. Again, you can download the program for free. You can even run the program for free, and it will scan and analyze your computer, all for free. But if you read the wording of what they offer carefully, they did not actually offer to fix anything for free. I would love for these advertisements to be clearer. I really would. The examples above are at least honest, albeit with high misdirection. And you know why the misdirection is there? Because it works. If the ads were as clear as we might want, then not as many would click and not as many people would buy. And enough people do get duped into paying at the end that it makes it worthwhile for these companies to continue to do what they do. The one that really bugs me is the misleading download button. These are ads, again to be clear, these are paid advertisements that look like download buttons. The accompanying wording is typically vague enough that it feels like it could be a legitimate download for something related to the site the advertisement appears on. Yet, when you mistakenly click on them, you either get taken to some website trying to sell you something, or you download something you don't want that then installs and is malicious or costly or even both. One of the underappreciated facts about online advertising is that the websites you visit are rarely in control of the advertisements that appear. The website owner signs up with an advertising network and then trusts that network to display ads that are appropriate to that website's audience. Pragmatically, there is just no way a website owner could vet all of the thousands of different advertisers that might get displayed, particularly given that the ads will be different from one visitor to the next and based on where that visitor happens to be located anywhere on the planet. Some advertising networks are better at filtering out the noise than others, but that noise works. The network and the website make more money when buckets of misleading ads are displayed. Unfortunately, there really is no practical recourse for individuals other than being skeptical and vigilant. Yes, you can complain to the various agencies, like I said, your state's attorney general or whatever might apply in your country, but my belief is that unless it's a horrific lie, they'll slip through on the technicality that they were in fact telling you the truth. You just misunderstood. Even when it is a horrific lie, most of the watchdog agencies are so overwhelmed that it would have to affect a lot of people over a long period of time to get their attention. You can complain to the website owner. They may or may not have the resources to act, and that usually involves their complaining to the advertising network they use. That network then may or may not care to take action. Okay. All of this comes down to this. What am I doing about it? Well, I'm dropping my current advertising network at the end of my contract. It's more complicated than just misleading ads. Overall website advertising is in a horrible state of disarray right now. But it's time to flip the switch. I'll be switching to one or more of promoting my own products, direct ad sales with or for products that I know or trust, and a more limited relationship with a different ad network, though misleading ads can always reappear. And of course, if you're a patron of askleo, well, as long as you're signed in, you're not going to see any ads anyway. By walking away from my advertising network, I'm walking away from a chunk of advertising revenue that helps keep askleo viable. And that is the conundrum every website owner faces. Who polices misleading advertising? You do. That means, and I can't emphasize this enough, you must be skeptical, always. As you've said, there is no such thing as a free lunch, so don't expect one. And another saying that's great to remember, if it's too good to be true, then it's probably not true. Instead, turn to resources that you trust. It could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be someone who is perhaps a tad more computer savvy and experienced with the type of issues you're facing. Perhaps you have a favorite website. Develop a relationship built on trust. Use that relationship then to learn what's really possible, what you can do yourself, and when those tools are called for, exactly which tools might be trustworthy and appropriate. But above all, always be skeptical. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/14274. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.